Shalom, my name is Alex Lederman, and welcome back to Israel Policy Pause. Indirect maritime border negotiations between Israel and Lebanon could be on the verge of a breakthrough. That's at least what U.S. mediator Amos Hochstein suggested. He's been shuttling back and forth between the two countries to facilitate the talks, given that they can't speak to each other directly without diplomatic relations. Hochstein was just in Israel, where he met with Prime Minister Lapid after coming from a joint meeting in Lebanon with President Michel Aoun, Prime Minister Najib Mikati, and Parliament Speaker Nabih Berri, all in the same room at once, which is pretty significant given how fractured Lebanese politics is. The dispute is over a triangle of Mediterranean Sea jutting off from the coast that Israel and Lebanon both claim as their exclusive economic zone. And it's significant because it includes natural gas fields that, if tapped into, could be worth billions of dollars. There's also a dispute over what's being disputed because in 2020, when this negotiation process started, Lebanon expanded its claim southward to include the Karish field, which Israel had previously thought was unambiguously part of its economic waters. Israel's actually working right now to get infrastructure at Karish online to start extracting natural gas, which could start happening even as soon as September. The compromise that Hochstein suggested looks like it's going to be that Israel will get to keep Karish while Lebanon will get Qana, which is the larger of the two fields. Israeli and Lebanese officials have been expressing optimism about this proposal, and Hochstein could return to the region as soon as even within the next 2 weeks to tie things up and finalize the deal. But then there's the Hezbollah factor. The Iran-backed terror group has been ramping up its provocations against Israel amid the negotiations, but also due to domestic pressures in Lebanon in the wake of parliamentary losses and overlapping crises in Lebanon. A couple weeks back, Hezbollah sent drones towards Karish, which Israel shot down, and just a few days ago, it published a video showing Karish in its crosshairs. And how this plays out not only depends on Hezbollah's provocations, but also Israel's responses to ensure deterrence. We could even see a war break out between Israel and Hezbollah if they don't play their cards right, which would obviously stymie the negotiations. That's it for Israel Policy Pause for this week. Be sure to visit israelpolicyforum.org/subscribe to subscribe to our content. I look forward to seeing you again next week. And until then, yalla bye.